Good evening, everyone. Welcome to PMI Switzerland virtual event. We will start in a few minutes. Please make sure that you are able to see the presentation slide. If not, check your view settings, upper right, and change it to gallery view. Let us know if there are issues as soon as possible. Yeah. Please bear with me and thank you. We hope you will have a nice event. Let's give a couple of minutes. We are very glad to see you all. We are happy that you can join us on this very nice sunny evening in Switzerland. It has been raining a couple of days. We'll start in a few minutes. So we have quite nice gathering so far. So a few more people registered. Let's give it a minute. Raise a hand or put in chat if anyone is having any issues. Huh? So a few more people joined. I'll give it a few more seconds. So good evening, everyone, and warm welcome. Welcome to PMI Switzerland chapter virtual event. We will start in few seconds. Please make sure that you are able to see the presentation slide. If not, check your view settings and change it to gallery view. Okay. Let us know if there are any issues as soon as possible in the chat. And thank you. And we hope you have a nice time at our event. So we'll be starting the event now. And before we start, can you go back to the previous slide, please? All attendees will be muted during the session. Some information worth bearing in mind. And the session will be recorded and published in the PMI Switzerland chapter and YouTube channel. This is an interactive session and we encourage you to participate when required. And there will be polls during the session, at least one poll, and participation is highly recommended. And there is a Q&A session. It will be at the end. Ask any questions via chat or use the raise the hand feature. And even slides and answers will be answered. Questions will be sent via post event by mail in case if there is not sufficient time. Yeah. So now that we have the ground rules, what we have information. So let us get to know where you are joining from. Nice relaxing question and please participate so that we get to know you as you would get to know us during the course of this presentation. Nice. So Switzerland, 61%, great. And there are other European countries as well, Africa, Asia and Pacific, North America, Central and South America. Excellent. Thanks a lot for a wide range of audience. And I hope you get to enjoy this event. I'm very sure of it. Still getting the polls? Yes. Excellent. So today's agenda, very interesting. We had 2020, very challenging time. So, but still we were very, very busy. So PMI Switzerland chapter 2020 at a glance, we will show you what has happened. And there is a very interesting PMI 20th anniversary game. You must tune to it. Then I introduce the speaker, and the speaker, we have the topic work-life balance, and there is a discussion, exercise, Q&A. Please do participate and enjoy. Then at the closing, we introduce the organizing team and what are the upcoming events. And of course, the icing on the cake for your efforts for attending this event, PDU, and help us with survey as well to improve continuously. So PMI Switzerland chapter, we had a very busy year. It started with the PMI CEO Sunil Prashara at AMM annual meeting, very informative event. Then we had this new brand launch for the PMI brand. And we also, with these challenging times, we adapted, and virtual events we started in April. And we are still continuing this year. We did not expect that. At that time, we thought it would be just few months, but now I think our expectation the next year, this into 21, it continued. So let us hope everything will be positive and come out of it nicely. We do look forward to some online events, on-site events coming in future. We also had a new PMI website, event website. Sorry, can you go back, please? Agenda. Yeah. Then we have this social media channels we have launched. Please follow us, Instagram and YouTube. And those that were recorded and available, you can still watch it, what interests you, which topic interests you. And we have also launched a PM workshop for a junior achievement in Africa and new HR processes. And we have a PM workshop for University of Lausanne. So 2020, we really did all the volunteers, excellent job and great participation as well. If you do look at the members, the numbers, 1,540 members and 1,233 event participants. So many volunteers, 85, but we still need more. Huh? And 17 virtual events and several networking events, live events, social good outreach sessions. So our volunteers and PMI Switzerland chapter kept very, very busy throughout 2020 in spite of the pandemic. Then now I would like to introduce you, very interesting topic for Stefan Wassenmeier. He's the PMI Switzerland Assistant Vice President. He'll be introducing a game for the PMI Switzerland chapter 20th anniversary as a result of that. So I would like to invite Stefan Wassenmeier, Vice President of Events for PMI Swiss chapter, to tell you more about how we are celebrating this 20th anniversary. Stefan?
So this beautiful picture is it's a tool for me when it comes to work-life balance. So, you work a lot, and that means sometimes you have to live. And live is life, and life in this beautiful place, it's really relaxing. And I think this is a tool that works very much for me, so why it should not work for you? And so PMI Switzerland had the idea to send one of you to this place or to such a place, because as Mitra already said, this year is our 20th anniversary. So since 20 years, PMI Switzerland is here to give you good and useful information around project management. And so we created a game that everyone can join. Monika? Mm-hmm. This game is for the 20th anniversary. We want to collect 20 words. We want you to build a sentence. And in each of our events this year, we want to publish, or we publish one word. And if you collect all these words, you can create a sentence and send it to us. And all the people who send the sentence to us have the chance to win a trip to the Swiss Alps with his spouse or with his loved one. And today, there is the word number 6, I guess, not number 8. Chance to watch to join all our events. So if you want to go there, but you was not in the earlier sessions, please check out our YouTube channel, We record all our events with the Word. You can collect them again, and you can send it at the end of the year. We also very soon publish a webpage where we give you hints to all these 20 words. And now it's very relaxing to see this beautiful view from the window, from the mountain. And I guess after this session, we all know our tools to become more relaxed, to find our own way of work-life balance. Thank you very much. Have a good evening, a good and useful, helpful, and also a funny session. Goodbye. Have a good time.
Thank you, Stefan. Great introduction for the game. And let us see who wins. So please do participate. There are many more events to come. And if you have already missed somewhere, it will be there on the YouTube, and collect all the words that you can. Now, the most important part of the event. Yeah. So I would like to introduce speaker Monika. I have the pleasure of interacting with Monika last few weeks through organizing this event, and I'm very much impressed and look forward to her workshop today. Monika is not only a coach on several interesting topics and runs training company, which focuses on new leadership, new ways of working. Topics like work-life balance and reconciliation of work and family life. She led a few initiatives like change management on projects for international services company. She herself went through several reorganizations at work and knows what it means to juggle a busy work and life. Wish you all a pleasant workshop and nice, productive, relaxed evening. Thank you very much. And Monika?
Thank you very much, Mitra. And thank you very much, PMI, for having me here tonight. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this workshop. I really appreciate it that you made time after a busy day to come here and listen to what I say, actually, really. So we are 39 participants, and for me, this is quite new to have so many participants. My workshops are usually a little bit smaller, so I can do breakout sessions and a lot of peer talking. You know, I really like to interact with people in workshops. So today there will be some changes a little bit, since we are a little bit more people. You will get some exercises and assignments that you can all do for yourself, and I really encourage you to participate in those. And you can decide for each exercise whether you want to do them on your personal notepad with a pen and just write the answers for yourself, or you will also get a link to an EduPad, which is a collaborative document repository, and there you can also then enter your answers. And if you do that there, other people can see what you write, but without your name. It will still be anonymous, but it will allow them to actually see that they are not alone. You are not alone with your challenges. There are other people who have challenges. And sometimes this is really helpful, even to know, hey, there are other people around and you're in this together, and there are solutions. And I hope I will give you some input, some fresh perspectives, how to look at your situation, whatever it is. And we've just seen before, we have seen all these busy people running around. And this is what happens usually to most of us, right? We run from one meeting to the next, and we don't have very much time to think and reflect if this is actually what we want to do with our life. So tonight, thank you very much for being here and taking the time to just start reflecting on your journey. It's an introductory workshop, and I will give you an overview on 5 topics, and then you will have some exercises that you can also do at home, and no stress tonight. Before we start, I want to know a little bit more about you. You know, with PMI project management, the first step is always identify stakeholders. So as I can't talk to all of you, unfortunately, right now to get to know you, I have 3 questions for you, and you can see them. And I want to know, what is your biggest challenge for you at the moment? And also, what else, right? I mean, probably don't only have one challenge. And then on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being not stressed and 10 being very stressed, how stressed are you right now? And I would like to encourage you now to open this link. Aisatu shared it in the chat, or she will. And you can, in this link, you have a collaborative tool, the EduPad, where you can see all these questions as well. You can just type in your answers and nobody will see that it's you. So you can just really write whatever you like. Or if you don't want for other people to see what you write, use your notepad. You're always free. And what I also want to tell you is I will give you 5 minutes to do that. I will time it with my phone. And I will also, during that time, switch off my camera and my microphone so that you will have quiet time. Take your silence. And don't worry, if you don't finish answering these questions, then just get as far as you get. Really, no stress tonight. That's what I said. So I will time it now. I hope you could all open the EduPad or take your notepad, and I wish you a good time with this first exercise. And I see you in 5 minutes. Guys, sorry, you don't do the exercise 1. That will come later. Just wait after those 3 questions, right? That's all you have to do. You're so fast already, but it's only the first 3. So thank you very much. I think you have even been faster than what I thought, which is quite common, right? You're just running from one thing to the next, maybe. You will see. I can see some people are still writing. And if you leave that EduPad open, that will be very interesting. I can also share it. Let me share it quickly with you, so you can see what people wrote. And the most interesting thing is that really most people, their biggest challenge is time, right? Having time for whatever they want to do. It's not enough. 24 hours a day is not enough. And on a scale from 1 to 10, that's also somebody wrote 74, which is quite good. 10 is the highest, 74. So somebody must be really stressed here. Most people are moderately to quite stressed, which is also quite normal. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be in a workshop like that. So congratulations and thank you very much for sharing. We will go back, just leave that open for yourself. We will go back now to the presentation. Just a reminder, what do I mean by the term work-life balance? Let me take an example. A project manager called Nicole. Nicole is 25 years old. She's really eager to get on in her career. She gets a really great job. She's going to be a consultant, traveling the world. She goes with the plane every week to another country, and she loves her life. All she does is she probably works about 14 hours a day. She also works on the weekend, and it's great. She gets money. She can then go on vacation, and her life is good. But then maybe she gets 30, and she finds that being away all the time is maybe not everything, because she lost touch with all her friends. She couldn't go to the wedding of her best friends. She couldn't be there when her grandfather died. She just missed a lot of things. So she really started thinking that maybe she wants to change something in her life. So then she goes on and looks at her career again, and just whether it's actually still suitable for what she wants. So she decides, no, she wants to get another job, which she does. She gets another job where she has to travel less, and she's here now. And what happens? She falls in love. She meets a boyfriend. They move in together. Maybe around 35 or so. She thinks, hey, why not have children now, right? And then she's at this same, at this exact same level again, that where she has to reflect how to go on. If she has children now, how much money will they need? How will they organize their life together? Her and her partner will both work part-time or full-time. Who will look after the children? What options are there? So they will evaluate everything again and just find the purpose, just what is right for them at this time of stage of life. And also maybe later on they will find, oh, our life is so busy now. We have the children, we have everything, but we have absolutely no time to go running. We have absolutely no time to just sit there and read a book or do anything that we enjoy. So they may also, again, look at their work-life balance. So what I mean by work-life balance is really always just finding your balance between everything, and so that it fits to the current situation of your life. And this will really change all your life, right? So I don't know where you are now. Most of you told me they have a time issue. They don't have enough time. Maybe later on we will find out a little bit more about that. But actually, that happens to most people. So today we're actually working on a project, on a little project, since we are with project managers here, or mainly. And the project is called Create a Healthy Work-Life Balance. So we will have 5 work packages, and just the first introduction, of course, you have a lot more activities with all of them, but I will just give you some to start today and to maybe think about later on after the workshop or on the weekend or during your next holiday. So the first one is to see your current situation in a positive way, right? I mean, when do you learn most, right? When do you learn most? Just ask yourself when you learn the most. It's really when you are in pain, when you are stressed, when things don't go right. This is probably the biggest learning curve, right? Because you're going to leave your comfort zone. So that's already something that you have to know. If you have now a problem with time management, it's actually a good way to learn and grow, because you have something to learn. If everything were fine, yeah, you wouldn't have to learn something, right? It's a little bit boring. So then you develop your own vision and mission statement, because once you know your values, that's actually a little bit a bigger part. Something I can only give you the exercises and you have to do them later. But if you know that, then you will know what to say yes if you got a chance, and what to say no if you got the chance, like a career development or an on-top project or whatever. It will help you if you know your vision and mission statement. The third one is ask for help. and challenge your priorities, because you are one person, and usually most of us, we need to have partners to talk to and to exchange and just get some fresh perspectives on our view. And then we probably get some ideas we never had just by ourselves. The fourth package will become your own chairperson. That's really something that most people struggle. Everybody now and then just thinks, oh yeah, let's help this person, or let's just take this project on top, or let's do this. And in the end, what happens? You put a lot of energy, a lot of energy in that, but somebody else or something else is lacking energy. Maybe it's the energy that you don't or won't have anymore for your partner. Maybe you won't have energy for your children if you have dinner with them after a busy day. Maybe they have to be quiet all the time because you can't stand it. It's too loud, right? So it's probably a sign that something is you should look at there, if they always have to be silent. And also, it's usually a sign that we look after others more than after ourselves. And that's also very important, to take care of yourself. That's become your own chairperson. And then, of course, number 5, implement what you have learned into reality. Make the first step. We're going to do that tonight. So now we have an exercise again for you. If everything is really bad, after a really bad day, and you're just stuck and frustrated, what is always helpful is to sit down and just take some time and write down some things that are still good in your life despite everything. And it's called practice gratitude, right? And I want you to do this exercise now. Also in the EduPad again, take 5 minutes again to write down 15 to 20 things, or alternatively, you can write it down on your notepad if you don't want to share, but write down 15 to 20 things that you can be grateful for at this very moment. And I will set the alarm clock again and get you back when I switch on the camera again. So see you 5 minutes. Thank you very much again. It's great to see so many things that you write. Somebody is just writing and writing and writing, right? Wow, so many lovely things to see and to be grateful for. So now number 4 is just underneath. It's the next question. How did this exercise make you feel? Somebody wrote great. I can see feeling well and satisfied, great, fortunate, grateful, happy. Isn't that lovely, right? Most of you say they are very stressed, somewhere on 74 or on 10, right? And now you say you're happy and grateful. So I just encourage you to do this little exercise before you go to bed or whenever you are really fed up, frustrated, because it brings you back to the earth and it usually brings you into good mood again. If you see the good things and stop complaining, it's a very powerful tool. Thank you very much. So let's go on. What do you need to feel in balance right now, right? Some of you said they don't feel in balance, they have time problems. So actually, what I notice a lot with my clients, sometimes they are really running from one place to the next and they don't even know what they need. They tell me, "Hey, Monika, look, I have no time. I have no time. I don't even know. I don't know what I enjoy. I don't know. If you ask me, what do I need to relax? I have no clue. I first need to think about it, but I have no time to think about it." And then sometimes these people, you know, what happens if they don't take the time? Probably you all know what happens. Sooner or later, they have a crash. And then they may be out of work for a month, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. And usually it's good to have a look at these questions before it happens, right? To ask yourself, give yourself this time to look at it for yourself. And you can see here what I thought would make me productive is hard work, but you will realize there are limits, constraints. Your body will tell you, your relationships will tell you, and it's always good to listen, but you have to learn. So how can you do that? Here are some questions for you that you can answer maybe on the weekend if you take an hour or in the next 2 weeks. And it's very good to know, how much sleep do you need? Actually, do you know how much sleep you need? When are you rested on the next day? Is it 4 hours? Is it 6? Is it 8? Is it 10? That is just different for everybody. And it's good to know, because once you know, you can do something about it. You know, I mean, we will get to that later when we are at the how to become the chairperson, what you can do, give you a tip for that as well. And also you need to know what is good for you. If you enjoy spending time outside in nature, then think about what kind of options do you have? How could you do that? And if you like, also it's very important to know who is giving you actually power. Which people do you like to be with? So try to be more with those kind of people and less with the kind of people who are draining you and just taking your energy. It's always good, you know, if you have activities that give you joy. Say you're in volunteering, but in volunteering you are there. It's your free time, right? If you find out things are so chaotic and every time you are there in your volunteering, you're actually just frustrated and the frustration goes up all the time, then maybe why do you do it? And maybe you drop that and do something else that brings you more joy. Nobody is forcing you. You can decide. It's all about making decisions. What do you want to do? Who do you spend your time with? And looking at things. So that's something for you to do maybe on the weekend if you have time. Take an hour to answer these questions for yourself. And then we have even a bigger task. That's the hard question. Really, if you take your time and then you ask yourself, really, if there were no restrictions, how would I spend my life? Who would I be with and what would I do? What kind of job? What kind of interactions with people? Like, how much time would I have? If a friend calls and is in need, what happens? Do I have to tell her, hi, sorry, I can only meet you in 3 months? Or can you actually say, all right, let's just go for coffee. Tell me about it. How do you do? So that's all up to you. And for some people, it's too hard, actually. They don't know. They have no clue in 5 years from now what they want to do. So actually, sometimes it helps, but you need also some time. That's why I will tell you, that's more of a holiday assignment. If you really think that at the end of your days, when you're old, right, what do you want people to know you for? How was your life? Will they say that you made a lot of money, you're now a multi-millionaire, but you were actually and you did so many good things and you still had time for your children, whatever. I mean, it's really nothing against being a multi-millionaire, right? You can all become a multi-millionaire, it's great. But just know what is your values? How do you want people to remember you? Like, about how do you want to go on about relationships, for instance, and what does it mean? So if you know that, then it's classical project management again, right? You have a goal, an objective in the future, in 5 years, 10 years, or maybe in 30 years, or in 50, depending on your age, right? And then you do backwards planning, right? What if you want to get there in that time? What do you need to do now in order to get there? And then it's quite easy what to do. And even if you don't go all the way, you are on the way. And that's actually what I find the most important thing. It's your learning curve, right? You are on your way. It's a growth path. You're not the victim in your situation, but you are the creator. You are creating something, even if it doesn't go all the way. I told you it's more of a holiday project. So my own long-term goal, actually, I'm also not perfect in all these things. I mean, I give courses, I give coachings on these kind of topics, but I also find it hard sometimes. So especially last year in the home office, starting my own business, you can imagine what happened. I got so many interesting things to do. Work is so interesting for me. I mean, that's the thing when you do your passion, right? You could work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I had to tell myself, Monika, do you remember you told yourself you want to be fit when you get retired? At the age of 65, I would still like to be able to do big hikes with my partner once the children are out of the house, right? And we will be together. I still actually want to go to the mountains and I still want to be able to walk up. So I'd better do something now about it, because the way I'm going, I just put on weight and I didn't feel well. And it actually was just harder and harder to motivate myself to go for my walk, to take the bicycle. I felt like, this is not, you're off track, you need to do something. So remembering my long-term goal helped me a lot. So that's why sometimes it helps to also hang yourself a picture of where you want to go, or a little note with a reminder. Put it on your mirror and then remember why you want to do something. And it may be helpful to have a long-term goal, or even when it is with sports, it may be a good thing to sign up for a run, just so that you know, okay, in September there is this run of 6 kilometers or 16 or 40 or whatever you want to do. But then you will have a deadline and you have to be fit, because otherwise you won't be able to run and you have to walk, and that's a little bit embarrassing. So yeah, it could help just to have a little bit more motivation if you have a goal. And it's also very important to know that you are not alone in this. You know, a lot of people are actually struggling with these kind of topics, and it's helpful for them. Somebody should just mute their thing. It's just very helpful actually to reach out, you know, and it doesn't matter to whom you reach out, as long as you reach out. You know, it can be anybody. It can be your sister or your brother or your friends. It can be your partner. It can be a professional coach or a mentor or a psychologist or whoever you need. I mean, it also depends on your situation, really. But it's so helpful to share your desires, your needs, your frustration, so that you can discuss it and find solutions. And you are not alone. And sometimes it's even good to ask your boss or your employer for help. So if you're a kind of person now who has this problem that many people has, who likes to help all the time and take on work, and then works on the weekends and works in the evenings and all these things, then maybe, you know, they have to do many things. You can work on gratitude, on mindfulness, you can work on setting boundaries, on all these things. But maybe, first of all, you should tell your boss about this, so that your boss knows that maybe with you, he should tell you, "Hi, go home. Now it's been enough. Go home. I don't want to see you in the office anymore, and I don't want you to switch on the laptop at home." So sometimes you need that. Some people don't need it and others do. So, I mean, a boss should find out what kind of person his employees is, but also the employee should tell the boss, right? Especially if they need it. Nobody likes it if somebody gives advice or does that, like a mother to a child. But some people, they really need it, and they should actually tell the other person, because they will be so happy to help. Probably, you know, that's an easy thing to do. No weakness, it's actually a strength to ask for help. Now, Ruth Cohn is a psychologist, and she has postulated a few sentences. And one of them is, become your own chairperson. And what does it mean is really advocate for your needs. Listen to your inner voices. You know, they will tell you something about yourself. So listen to them and to your needs and set boundaries, right? Don't say yes if you mean no to something. So you can learn that, you know, and even what may help you from time to time. I just give you some small things, since you all said you don't have time. So say now you have no time to do sports. You have no time because your days are full. So maybe you're right. Maybe you can't train for a marathon right now because you can't spend 3 times half a day per week to go running. Or maybe you can't even spend 3 times 1 hour to go running. But look at what you can still do. I mean, you can certainly still spend twice 20 minutes. Come on. Somehow you will find the time. Twice 20 minutes running, if you want running, or swimming, or whatever it is, or if you want to learn a language, to study German. If you wanted to study German for quite long, you know, probably you find 10 minutes every day where you can learn German easily. You just have to do it. And then the second thing is set the time. That's also something I have to do, because I know I want to, at least 3 times a week, I want to do sports. That's actually my objective. But I need to schedule it in, because I'm very bad to do it spontaneously because I tell you, my work is just too interesting, right? That's really a problem, my work, because it's the work I love. So I could always just work. So I need to schedule it in. And what I do usually on a Sunday evening, I even also have a look at my calendar. Of course, I have meetings, but I also sometimes look at the weather forecast. And then I try to set some calendar entries for sport when the sun shines, right? So I will go for a bike ride in the afternoon or in the morning or whenever, when the sun shines. So, but I have to do it. And then also sometimes I have to set an alarm clock or a reminder that I really do it, because I'm into this very interesting, just maybe creating these kind of presentation slides, and I'm looking for pictures that may fit and illustrate and so, and that's actually very interesting. So I forget about time, and then I need my alarm clock. You know, I have my alarm clock with me a lot of times, especially if I have something on after, right? Even also during meetings, sometimes if I know, okay, I will have another meeting just following up and have no buffer in between, no lag time or something. So then I will set the alarm clock 5 minutes before the end, and then I just say, look, I'm sorry, we have 5 minutes. If we're not finished, we need to do get a new appointment to continue our talk. It was very nice, but actually time is up, right? So yeah, so that's the thing with the reminder. And I wanted to tell you about sleep as well. If you now know that you need 8 hours of sleep and you will get up at 6 in the morning, you need to go to bed at 10 p.m. So what you have to do is really, you have to, if you find yourself sitting in front of the TV, for instance, and just watching another Netflix series and another one, and it's getting too late, you need to set the alarm clock. So you need to know 10 o'clock, sorry, switch off the TV, go to bed, because if not, you will be tired the next morning. That's just an easy thing to do. And yeah, you need to find alternatives. If you can't see your friends, you can still call them. And especially if you have no time, like during one time of my life, when I had to pick up the children from crash and bring them to crash and work and all that, I really had no time for sports. So what I could still do is decide to take the bicycle to work, actually. So at least I had this little way from home to work. It was not so little, it was actually 50 minutes one way with the bike. But so I could do that, and that was my sport. So I did the sport, and I didn't even need a public transport ticket anymore, which was actually also great. So I also saved some money, and I did my sports. Even when it was raining, I realized that's also, you can just put a jacket on and things like that. It's still working. So it's actually quite good also for your health and other things. Then another thing is prepare yourself and plan. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you actually the walk and talk. Some of you may know that I do walk and talks with clients, and I always offer that when they are in Zurich instead of doing another online meeting. And I've really noticed that people like that a lot. They even like to talk more when we walk, right? So tell me about their things. And for them, they do their exercise. I do some exercise. We both get fresh air, and we still have a coaching session. So it's just the nicest thing. And that's the alternatives options part. Yeah, so prepare yourself and plan ahead. That's also very important. Probably you notice what happens if you go shopping to the food market and you're hungry and you don't have a shopping list. You end up buying all these chocolate and crisps and things that are not healthy, right? And you can't really cook a real decent meal. So that's not very good. So prepare yourself. And what I have done now, since I had to lose a little bit of weight after this 1 year of home office, I even sat down also on a Sunday. It's usually Sundays is quite busy. I don't know why. So on Sundays, I look at all these recipe books, and then I see, aha, okay, let's try this next week. So take about 3 recipes and just write down all the things that we need for that. And then on Monday, I'll do the shopping. And so at least we have 3 meals that are healthy. And then we will just see for the rest of the week or continue that. But I find that really good. But I can only do that if I plan ahead. And also, if you don't have time for meditation, relaxation, to go to your yoga class or anything like that, you can still do that in your everyday life. So here I have some fruit for you. No, actually it's vegetable, pepper, tomato, and I mean, you have to eat, right? So what you do is you probably have to prepare the food if you want to prepare healthy food, right? So what you can do is you can actually start looking at these things, right? You can start looking at these things, you can touch these things, you can smell them, and by doing so, all those little things that you usually do when you cut your vegetables, usually maybe you will still think about what your boss said or what you didn't say or whatever. But if you're actually here with your thoughts and you have a look at these vegetables and you smell them, it will be very relaxing. It's actually really the same as this exercise with being grateful. And you can do that with all kind of household chores that you have to do anyhow. So that's actually the best thing. If you hang the laundry, you could do that. You know, you just feel, how does it feel? How does it look? How does it smell? All these things. Or if you take a shower, you can do that with the water. And maybe for the first time in weeks, you will realize actually water has a touch. And yeah, it has a temperature, maybe it's soft or it's hard or whatever. Just try it out. You can try that out and it takes no extra time. That's really what I think is the best about it. You can just do it. Doesn't take 1 hour a day or anything like that. And it will make you feel relaxed. And then, of course, optimize your time management at work. That's another thing. And there I could just give you an entire workshop only on this, right? I mean, do you really need to send an email so many times if maybe after the 3rd time you could just take the phone, call the person, or even if you've been away from the holidays, you return and you have 1,000 emails to read. And I mean, maybe you could just have a call with your project team and find out what happened, or maybe you even have a deputy who took care of it, and a lot of things like that that you can improve at work. And also another thing you can do is make a covenant to reach your goals. What I mean by that is you engage a coach and you pay the coach, or also you can pay the gym, or you can pay the fitness instructor or whatever you do, but you pay somebody for something. And by doing that, you automatically will actually go ahead and do what you want to do, because otherwise it's a waste of money, right? So it can be very strong motivation to actually get going once you make such a covenant to reach your goals. And it's important to focus. You need to know what you say yes, what you say no, and to learn to set boundaries. So if something doesn't fit your vision and mission statement, I mean, for instance, now you have a family, you want to be home with them, and your company wants to send you somewhere on the globe for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months, or even longer. Maybe you just say, sorry, I can't do it because I don't want to leave my family alone for so long. And why not? It's up to you. You can decide. Nobody can force you to do anything that you don't want. So remember, I don't know who said that, you can hear it everywhere. This energy flows where the focus goes. You will notice as soon as you start looking for all these spaces and for all these options that you have, you will find them and you will see them everywhere. So that's a good thing. So you can just start. And I want to tell you also, we have planned a full day with PMI and myself on the topic of how to become your own chairperson and how to set boundaries. And we will just go into this, deepen it, also learn a bit more about Ruth Kohn and her theory of how to become your own chairperson. And by that, you will definitely improve your self-management skills and achieve a better work-life balance. So that next time when somebody wants to give you an on-top project, you will at first pause and reflect and think, and what options do I have? What do I do now? Does it actually fit in? Do I want to do it? And then only you will make a proposition. You want to say, yes, it's okay, no problem, right? Because maybe you think it's no problem, but it may be, right? So you can find out about this event at the upcoming events soon. We are still writing the description of it. And if you also want to hear more about what I say about work-life balance topics, you can also read my blog. It's in German only at the moment at my website. Or you can follow my LinkedIn company page or my Facebook page as well. And also, if you haven't done so, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. It would be nice if you write a little note that I know where you come from or how we met. You could tell me, hey, I was in this workshop, so then I just know who you are and where you're coming from. Now is a very interesting thing, right? I mean, I can talk so well. I don't know how hard it is, right? You may say, I mean, your situation is a lot harder and it's not so easy. It's really complicated. So I just like to challenge you on this, right? And I asked you to take a minute or two now to reflect on why it is so hard to leave your comfort zone and just set those boundaries. Just say no. Why is it so hard? So write it, please, again in the document on the EduPad or on your notepad. You have about another 2 or 3 minutes for that. So thank you very much again for this. We can see a variety of reasons why not to do it. Usually it's fear of failure, or we are too old, or we have never done it before, or it's just not the right time, or I don't know if it's going to be better than anyhow or whatever, right? And it's actually, I would say, we look for excuses, because if we want to change something, what happens? Tack, resistance is coming up, because if we want to change something, it means usually work, right? It's work. And we think we already have enough work, right? You can't take more on top, right? And so you don't. But maybe you have to reflect on this if that's the right thing to do. Let me just give you some tips on what you could do if you are afraid of failure or all these things. So first of all, you can remember that success can be anything, right? Stop comparing yourself to others. I don't think, oh, but he's much further and he has this nice house and he's already promoted and he has this wife and he has this car, and just stop at this, right? Don't compare. You are where you are and start from where you are. So it can really be anything. I mean, for one person, it can be getting back into shape after a year of home office. That can really be a big thing, you know, just starting to do sports again, or even if somebody broke a leg, had an accident, to start walking again without crutches. Sometimes, I mean, that's actually quite something. So that can be success. Or finding a life partner, right? I mean, it's hard. It's not so easy. They don't just walk around like that. And even if you have them, it's work to keep them, right? I mean, it's not always honeymoon for forever. So finding your life partner is also quite demanding, and it can be also a project by itself. Or finding a job that you love. Maybe you're trained out at your job and you need to figure out, what do I want to do? So what kind of things have I done? What would my heart like to do? What can I do? What would it need? What kind of further education would I need? What kind of talks? What kind of budget? All these kind of things. And that can be something too, but it's very interesting. And I think it's very rewarding. I can speak for myself because I took that plunge now about, I think it was actually May 2019 that I handed in my notice. I quit my kind of safe job after 13 years. And I started now a company, so I didn't know how that would go. So certainly took the plunge, but what helped me is to know, well, whatever happens, even if it goes all wrong, and I fail, I will learn. And it's true, I have never learned as much as in those 1.5 years, right? That I have now had my company. That there's just so many new things I had no idea about, from creating a website to finding a logo to doing tax files and all kinds of things that you have to do when you actually have a company. So it's been very interesting, and my learning curve has been like that, right? So I can recommend it. Although taking the decision was really the hardest thing, right? Take the decision, and once I took the decision, even to find the right time. When was the right time? But when it happened, and I just knew today is the day, and then I did it. Right, so what you can do if you have these kind of things, these projects. Actually, let me see if yep, I'm sharing the right screen, that's good. Break it down into smaller pieces always helps, right? You know that so well from project management. What do you do if you have a huge project? Break it down into smaller pieces and make them as small as possible so you can do them, and so you can have the feeling of success. You can see a progress, right? And it doesn't matter how fast you go. If you're on your way steadily, continuously, you actually lead a life of plenty, right? You're happy, you're going your way. It doesn't matter how fast. You don't need to do all these things in 1 week. So take your time. And then another thing is take one step after the other. Don't just do everything at once, right? You can do an overview, but then you have to set priorities, right? What do I start with? What first? It's the same in project management. You can't do 20 projects in parallel, or I couldn't do it, right? Because then you can't do anything right. But if you focus and you set priorities, you can do them right. And what's also helping is this meditation mindfulness thing, to live in the here and now. I mean, you can always go on about the past and how, what a sorry case you are and everything was bad, your childhood maybe have been bad, whatever. It's not helping you. You are where you are now. So you can start and decide today to change things and to go the way that you want. Anything happened until now, it's now, and from now is a new time. You have the decision and the power to go where you want and to change. If it's difficult for you, ask for help. I mean, there are enough people who can help, really. Just ask, and you're not the only person who needs help. And I know some people who feel that it's so hard, they can't do it for themselves because they can't take time for themselves, right? Because they have so much to do and would need to help so many people. But if they then imagine that they don't take the time for themselves, but they actually, by being more relaxed, they help their loved ones, right? They will have time for good conversations. They will be patient. They will be present when they talk to them, and rather than just thinking of all the problems from work, right? So think of your loved ones and what you will do for them. So sometimes it helps to make decisions. And now it's your turn. You're actually at the end. This is the last exercise for you before the Q&A. And I would like to give you again 5 minutes now to take the first steps and to put some of these ideas into reality. You have the EduPad again, and please write down what you want to take away with you from this workshop. And also, if you had any aha moments, please write them down. And then for yourself, write down 3 concrete things that you want to try out and work on during the next 2 weeks, and how you're going to track that you're actually doing them. It's very important. How do you track it? So please go ahead for 5 minutes, and then we will meet for the Q&A session. Thank you. Hey, thank you very much, everybody. It's very interesting to read what you write, and thank you for this feedback also. I can see that you're taking away some things with you, so I'm happy about that. Please also feel free to send me a feedback or also to take the survey later on. That would be great, so that I just know how this was for you. And I can see that some are still writing the 3 things. If not, you know, you can write them on your notepad later on after the workshop. So it's really worthwhile to write down 3 things, 3 concrete things you want to try out in the next 2 weeks and how you want to track them. I encourage you to do that even after the workshop and to follow up on it. Just see how it goes. That will be very interesting. So now let's share the slides again. And we are at the Q&A.
So thank you, Monika. Any questions now? Who would like to take the first step?
You're all exhausted after the exercises.
No, I think being mindful and relaxed, I guess. Anyone would like to ask a question now? Have you been unmuted? You can unmute yourself.
If you like, or maybe something is in the chat, I don't know. Let's see.
You can turn on your cameras if you'd like, and you can ask a question. You can chat, you can raise your hand. So maybe I will start one with you, Monika. Thank you very much. It has been really a relaxing, really a mindful evening. I knew I was going to get into this state. And my aha moment was when I said, okay, I'm on the right moment, you know, maybe I'm not making big steps, but I'm on the right track. So that really helped me. And quite a few quotations, it really, sometimes even though we know, you know, a lot of things, a simple way of putting it and reminding really helps a lot to keep on the way. Yeah. Like your alarm clock. So always getting to hear something about this, even if it is the same, slightly in a different way, it really helps. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can see in the chat, people are typing. My camera is on.
Yeah, mine too, but maybe, you know, because it's on the recording, so yeah. I understand if somebody doesn't want to ask question. Birgit May.
Yeah, I just thought I would put on my camera so that you're not alone. Maybe some people might want to follow.
Thank you. You're leaving your comfort zone.
Yeah, I know the situation as a teacher as well, and I find it sometimes very hard looking into these black little boxes, only names on it or some pictures, but at the end, I really like it as a teacher if I can see my students in real life. It's really cool for me, so.
Yeah. I just would like, I would like to thank that PMI for setting that workshop. That's amazing. First time actually I'm attending any LinkedIn workshops, and I'm very grateful. So it feels me more connected. It feels me that other people do understand what it is in Canada here in lockdown in North area. So I don't know what's going on in the world. I feel very much isolated. But now seeing workshop and seeing how many people feeling same makes me feel more secure, sort of. Thank you, very much appreciated. And it's a great presentation, Monika. I will definitely follow you on LinkedIn now.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? If not, we will go on to the PMI closing slides. They still have some announcements to do, so we could continue if you want, right? Otherwise, feel free. Last chance.
Even if, yeah, if you can write to us later, we can answer the questions. Monika will answer that. And we'll collect any questions that are not answered in the chat and we'll reply to you separately. Yeah. So thank you very much, Monika. It's a real pleasure having you on this very valuable and really interesting presentation. And yeah, so we definitely like to follow you later on and we'll give you the feedback. Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, thanks a lot. Much appreciated. Next slide. So then I would like to especially thank this virtual team, PMI virtual team. Without you, what we could have done? Yeah, nothing. So thanks a lot for all the troubles you have taken, all the help you had given, technical help. Thank you, Isato. Thank you, Pia. Thank you, Stefan and Prashant. We have a lot of other team members as well, but this is our virtual team. And as I had shown in the first few slides, where in 2020 in April, we kicked in as soon as all this lockdown has come. How do we interact with people? How do we continue our engagement with the project management professionals? And people have stepped in and here it is, yeah? So we are able to bring up this kind of events to you. So continue to participate. Then this is our upcoming events. So we have on the June 4th, a PMI coffee talk, and it's online. Then we have open space. So there are a lot of open space events. You can check out in LinkedIn as well, previous ones as well. In this particular one, stakeholder and team management on June 15th, that is also online. And upcoming one, masterclass, how to become your own chairperson, yeah, which we talked about 25th of September. That's in Zurich. Is it going to be online or in person? Yeah, let us hope.
If we can, let's hope.
If we can, yeah. We are also starting the project management conference on in person. So let's hope it takes off, yeah. And then PMI Switzerland conference, which is on 29th of September. Please do join. It's a really excellent conference. A year-long preparation has gone into it to be able to bring to you in person. So those who, you can check out all our events in PMI Switzerland .ch events page. So please do register if you have not already done so. I can vouch for you. It's an excellent conference. Yeah, thank you. Then, okay. Now here comes the my question to you. Please, whoever wants to become a volunteer, you're all welcome. I'm a volunteer. I work in Credit Suisse as a Scrum Master. I have a busy schedule too. And last year I broke my hand for 1 year, nearly I could not do anything. And I said, Prashant, so I can't engage anymore for some time. I'm taking my me time. Yeah, I'm following Monika's this thing to be able to say no when I can. And then when this event organization came up, I said, yeah, now I'm ready. So let me organize this event. So I have organized it. So it's a really great pleasure in organizing such events and networking. So kindly become a volunteer. Yeah, there is a hr@pmi-switzerland.ch. You can write an email and you can also see become a volunteer. So you will really enjoy, I can assure you. So we look forward to meet some more volunteers. And then please follow us in social media channels, which is established during the last few months and last 1 year. And LinkedIn PMI Switzerland and Facebook, in Instagram and LinkedIn and YouTube, I mean Twitter and YouTube. So we have so many 17,600 website page views so far, and a lot of recorded events are there in LinkedIn as well. So please have, I mean in YouTube, please have a look at them. Then here is your much deserved end of the evening something for you. PDU claim code, please note it down. And this event is recorded. You'll also find it and you'll be posted. And please do give your feedback in the online survey. Much appreciated. If we know what to improve, we are ready to improve. And it's your duty to help us. Huh? And also get yourself better events and better organized, and whichever way you wish to have. Yeah. So kindly spare 3 minutes of your time, answer the short survey, and claim your PDU code, as well as you have a QR code as well. Yeah. Then we come to the end of the presentation.
After, right?
Pardon?
It's finished.
Yeah, it's finished.
Yeah.
So that's why we have come to the end of the presentation. And so we still have about 6 minutes. If you want to interact and still ask some questions, you're welcome. But let me thank you very much for all of you who have attended, and some latecomers also I have seen. And don't worry, it will be a recorded session. You can also find it. You will be receiving the link. Yeah. Okay. So thanks a lot for attending. And any further questions, you can post it in the chat, or yeah. So Monika, once again, thank you very much. And our chapter team who has made this event possible, my heartfelt thanks to them to be able to present this event. Yeah. Thank you very much, and have a nice, relaxed evening, all of you. Bye. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you very, very
Bye.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Monika.
Safe.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.